What's up, family? Welcome to Speak, a crazy Monday show after a wild weekend of NFL football. On the far end, Super Bowl champ James Jones. James, what's the word, checkerboard?
Man, you know, just chilling, man.
My man.
You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little jealous of the outfit.
There we go.
Jealous of the outfit. James has cemented his flag in turtleneck season, and I have peeped the game. Joy Taylor, what's the word? How are we?
I'm good. What? Hello, I don't get any turtleneck love?
That's a mock. That's a mock turtleneck.
What you mean?
A little short. There you go. You try to raise it up a little bit.
Thank you, Shane. I'll be up here with an under my chin.
And to my right, Eagles all-time rushing leader, LeSean, Shady, McCoy. Well, Shady, the Dolphins, they made a statement yesterday. The Lions, they continued to make a statement. But on the flip side, Eagles, they caught their first loss of the season, first loss in a long time. And the Niners, Brock Purdy, his first loss of the regular season. So now the whole NFL world is shook up. There's no greater question one can ask about football right now than this one. Who's the best team in the NFL?
I'm first.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we did lose, but we still are the best team in the NFL.
Who is we?
Right?
Who is we?
Philadelphia Eagles.
Philadelphia Eagles.
Where my flag at? No, not today. No flags off the loss. No flags. Don't worry about that. But I got to say the Eagles, just because of, first of all, even though our quarterback didn't play well, he's a top quarterback in this league for a reason. I think that collectively, from the offense to defense, if you look at the Eagles just as a team, as a unit, we can win in so many different ways, so many different fashions. My mic is getting crazy in my ear. We can win by so many different ways. Now, we didn't win against the Jets. Jets defense, give a lot of credit. They played well, and we didn't get the win. But if I'm just being consistent, which the Eagles are a consistent team of winning, all we do is really win.
That's fair.
Jalen Hurts was the reason why we lost yesterday.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
No doubt.
But he's also the reason why we win. And his last 24 games, he's 22 and 2.
22.
That's like winning like almost every time you play the game.
Yeah. So
I'll take this loss because last year we lost. We had an undefeated season last year.
No doubt.
Right? And where did we end up?
Super Bowl.
Holla. So it got to be us as the best team in the NFL.
James Jones, best team. Where you at?
I'm going with the Niners. I'm sticking with the Niners. And the reason why is that was probably their worst outing on the offensive side of the ball. That was probably their worst outing. The worst that we've seen Brock Purdy play. If you make a field goal, you still win the football game.
That's a good point.
Their defense gave up 85 yards passing to the quarterback and picked him off 2 times, 0 touchdowns. Right? So we always say defense travels. And the Niners have a really good defense that's going to go anywhere in the world and play really good football. I truly believe that Brock Purdy is a really good quarterback in this league, and he won't play like that consistently. It was a big loss losing Debo, especially when it's wet and it's raining and all that type stuff, because no screen games. You can't run no little fly sweeps, no reverses, none of that to really take the ball out of Brock Purdy's hands of trying to throw the ball down the football field. So that was a big blow, and you obviously lost McCaffrey in that game late. And with all that being said, if your kicker make a kick, as ugly as you played, as nasty as you played, you still had an opportunity to win that football game. And that's a sign of a good football team playing their worst and still having a chance to win. So I'm still going to rock with the 49ers as the best team in football.
I have to say, it doesn't really feel like there's any great teams right now, because even the teams that are 5-1, which there are a few of them, everybody has some kind of weird thing going on. So if I'm going to look at the scope of the best teams in the NFL and narrow it down, as I like to do with information, let's walk through it. Who's the best coach in the NFL right now? Andy Reid, of course. Who's the best quarterback in the NFL right now? Patrick Mahomes, of course. They are also 5-1.
Oh, you going?
And when? Now hold on. Stay with me now. Stay with me now. Stay with me now. They have one loss.
Yes, they do.
To the Lions, who are also a 5-1 team. They lost by 1 point, and Travis Kelce and Chris Jones did not play in that game. Now let's go down the other losses. You said San Francisco lost to the Browns. They almost won, kick, whatever. Deshaun Watson did not play in that game. He's $230 million quarterback. Should never have been close. The Eagles lost by 6 points to the Jets. Jalen Hurts played a terrible game, 3 turnovers. The Dolphins lost by 28 to the Bills. And the Lions lost by 6 points in overtime to the Seahawks. So they're all 5-1. Let's go down their losses. Let's go down who's the best on the field, which is still Patrick Mahomes, and the best coach. So I have to give the Chiefs some love. When you're looking at who has had the worst losses, they're not in that category. And the team that they have a loss to is 5-1. So I think I'm with you. I would go to the Eagles next. But I think I have to sprinkle some love on the Chiefs based off of the information that we have and the fact that I feel there are no great teams. So let's narrow it down to what is great. And Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are still there.
It's not what you know. It's what you can prove in court. And what I think I could prove in court is the Chiefs. So I'm saying the Chiefs are the best team in football.
Lord
I
have mercy.
know that it's the Niners. I know that it's the Eagles, kind of. But what I could prove in court is what Joy just proved, is that it's the Chiefs. Because the Chiefs lost. Their sole loss was in week 1. Like she said, without Chris Jones, without Travis Kelce. The Chiefs have only been trailing in the second half for 7 minutes all season. All season, they've trailed for 7 minutes in the second half, and that was in week 1. So the only time the Chiefs lost was to a one-loss team, and again, without Chris Jones, without Travis Kelce. Now, the problem, the counterpoint that the defendant might make
I was getting
is,
that. I was getting that.
The Eagles didn't have Lane Johnson.
There's a lot of people hurt.
The Niners didn't have Debo or McCaffrey. And the whole screen game, not just the screen game because of Debo gone, screen game because of McCaffrey, all the way gone. So it is kind of splitting hairs. But the reason, Shady, I would probably say the Chiefs right now is because as much as I love the Niners, you can't lose to P.J. Walker. I can provide an explanation, absolutely, because playing against a quarterback that you have no film on is much harder than most people think. But you can't lose to P.J. Walker. Period.
He didn't. I don't think he did much to win that game, right?
He did.
P.J. Walker. I watched the game. He got the credit for the win, but it wasn't his reason why they won. Anyway, the Chiefs not a bad option. I love the Chiefs, the GM, Andy Reid. I love Pat. I love them guys, but they haven't been playing great like that either. Though.
Exactly.
They haven't been playing really, really good.
No.
Right? And they've been playing bad, and then Pat has been playing bad.
True.
This happens that they be kind of winning, right? So while I still pick the Eagles, and by the way, even though I do love Andy Reid, the best record coach-wise right now, you know what it is, though, right? Currently. It's Nick
Sirianni.
It's Nick Sirianni. I don't know if y'all knew that or not. It's Nick Sirianni.
But he's not saying Nick Sirianni.
Hey, listen. So I like Nick Sirianni, right? I love our quarterback. And then if you just go from roster to roster, player for player, O-line to O-line, D-line, D-line, we fit with every team, and even better. So when you put a game where maybe our best players don't play well, right? I'm talking about against good teams, against good teams. I'm not against the Jets. I feel like when you play against bad teams sometimes, I've been there where you can play bad, you're like, man, we still gonna win. You throw a pick, we still gonna win. You got a defense, cool. But when you play a good team, like every mistake matters, right? The margin for error is so small. So now when you look at the Chiefs, and Chiefs are a really, really good team, coached very well. But if Pat's not playing well and Jalen's not playing well, I still believe that the Eagles will win that game because we have better players on both sides of the ball.
Real quick, James, I'm going to pivot the question, pivot the conversation. Joy, you made a point. Every team in my mind has a weakness. James, I'm going to ask you this question. When I look at the Dolphins and their weaknesses, defensively, it's primarily. When I look at the Eagles right now, their weakness, Jalen Hurts has been turning the ball over way too much into the secondary. They got about 4 backup secondary players out of far in their second unit. When I look at the Niners, their biggest weakness is injuries as well, and you could still argue Brock Purdy's youth. When you look at the Chiefs, their biggest weakness, Travis Kelce, along with maybe if you want to say what's going on with Travis Kelce physically. Which weakness of those one-loss teams worries you the most? Is it the Lions' complete inexperience, the Dolphins' defense, the Eagles' injuries, the Niners' Brock Purdy's youth, Travis Kelce's? Which weakness worries you most?
It's the Chiefs and Travis Kelce, and that's why I don't have them as the #1 team in football because they have really been healthy. Like, they ain't really battled with a lot of injuries. They've been healthy, and healthy. They are not better than the Eagles healthy. They are not better than the Niners healthy. They might not be better than the Dolphins healthy, right? They don't have a #2 receiver that's going to consistently win if Travis Kelce does not have that game. And that's why they've been having their struggles on the offensive side of the ball, right? We gave the Eagles, me and you, gave the Eagles a bunch of grief, not hate. But we was on the Eagles tough because they haven't been playing consistent football. Even though they've been finding ways to win, when you turn the tape on with your own 2 eyes, you're like, this Eagles team ain't playing consistent football. This Eagles team ain't playing the type of caliber football the Eagles want to play. But you couldn't argue it because they were winning games. Now that they have lost a game, it's like, ooh, it caught up to them. We said last week the Niners are the most consistent football team in football this season, right? Through 5 weeks, they were flawless, right? The most consistent team in football. They have 1 loss now, but they are still the most, up to these 6 games, they are the most consistent team in football through the first 6 weeks. So that's why I still say the Niners. The Dolphins, you put up 70, then you get beat by 40. You can't do that. That's not consistent football. The Eagles have not been consistent all year long. They've just been finding ways to win. And that's the same way with the Chiefs. They have not played consistent football all year long. Has Patty been squeaking out some wins? Absolutely. But they've been squeaking out wins against the Jets, against the Broncos, and all that. We watched the game on Thursday. And we Shady said Chiefs by 20. So the Chiefs have not been playing consistent neither. And Ain't no number 2 or none of that coming through that door.
Yeah, they've been squeaking these wins out, but their only loss isn't to a squeaky team. It's to a real team in the Lions. That Niners loss was to a squeaky team, and the Browns are squeaky with Deshaun Watson out there. They had P.J. Walker out there.
Yeah.
The Jets, for whatever, I mean, everyone's feeling good right now, but the Jets are overall not a great team.
No.
They're not.
No,
Not a good team. They have a great defense, and all that yesterday, it was 12 points before Jalen Hurts threw that interception. So it's all cute, and that's great, and you got the win, which is all that matters, but that's not a good team either. So, and we're all splitting hairs. I love the Eagles. I think they're still the best team in the NFC over the Niners. I think so. That's splitting hairs there. But if I have to go to the evidence, if I have to go to a team that I trust right now with all these teams at 5-1, how could it not be the 2-time Super Bowl champ, 2-time MVP?
That's a good option.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid.
I mean,
that game
can't go wrong.
You can never go wrong with going with the Chiefs.
Of course
They're coached well.
Yeah.
And Patrick Mahomes, they got a lot of, But that game gets to the Broncos. I mean, that you felt confident about watching that game?
No.
How that look?
I don't feel confident about any of these teams.
I'm just saying, we just talking about this, because every team, if you want to be honest, every team has that.
Yeah.
So when I say the Chiefs, and I'm thinking like everybody's 5-1, when they played the Jets, they didn't look great.
Nope.
And when they played the Broncos, I'm talking about the Broncos. We talk about every week if Sean Payton should get fired or if Russell should get benched. That's that team that just giving up their last defense in almost every category. They barely beat them. At home.
But they beat them, though.
I'm just saying, if you're saying look good and being consistent, they haven't been consistent, and they haven't looked good.
The only team that's looked good is the Niners. Like, looked good. Consistently looked good offensively and defensively.
Okay.
The Lions, you could argue, looked good, but their defense just be falling asleep at times. But it is interesting. I have one thought, James, and it's really for you, and then we got to get to break. But why has the quarterback play this year been so suspect? Have y'all sat back and thought about that for a second?
Yeah, I thought about it a lot.
I thought about it
it's been really bad.
Tua was playing great, but Tua got 5 picks on the season. 14 touchdowns, but 5 picks.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts, all pro, hard to do.
7.
7 picks on the season.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, he started the season off with 3 picks.
Yeah.
And I think he has like 5 or so on the season. It's just kind of weird to me. Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
He had a 2-pick game versus the Jets.
The Jets,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what, James, you're the resident wide receiver. I don't know what it is, but like, there is no great quarterback.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence averages grits.
Yeah.
It's grits.
I've been calling that out.
I mean, it's grits.
Yeah.
So I make sense of it real quick.
I mean, the only thing that I could say is when these defensive players walk in their locker room on Tuesday, they say, let me see what my check is. Because they get paid to make plays, too. And I think when you're talking about what these defenses are presenting, like, some of these games to where these quarterbacks is looking average, man, they going up against really good defenses, pass rushers and all that. Like one of Jalen Hurts' pick, I mean, boom, arm hit, ball in the air. So, I just think kudos to these defenses out here playing well and really adapting to this league because we know it's a passing game and we know what these coaches on the offensive side of the ball is doing. But these defenses is playing some football, man, and getting after these quarterbacks.
Yeah, to add on to that, I agree. I think that the defensive performances have really started to catch up with how much the offensive part of the league has accelerated. They're adjusting to the new rules. Okay, we can't hit the quarterback like this. We're going to lean into playing them this way. A lot of offenses are trying to have their quarterbacks not run as much, so they're probably throwing the ball more. They want Lamar to throw the ball more. They want Jalen Hurts to throw the ball more, so you get more opportunities to make plays. But yeah, these are really good defenses. Pittsburgh has won multiple games off of defense.
Yep.
You could argue the Jets have won all of their games off of defense.
Yeah.
San Francisco,
Baltimore,
the Eagles,
Dallas.
It's some defenses
yeah,
now.
so there are really great defenses in this league right now. Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.